Good evening, Brian. It's Monday. So today I want to tell you about a really cool place that I went to over the weekend. It's called Discovery Place, and it's in Charlotte. They have various exhibits and demonstrations and experiments and things you can do that are all geared towards helping specifically kids understand science and the things that affect the day-to-day lives of people that we don't often think about. So they have things that show examples of physics in action, or environmental science, or biology, or chemistry, etc. So it's like a kids science museum, but with a very strong emphasis on being hands-on and stuff like that. But they currently have an exhibit there called Beyond the Rubik's Cube, and holy crap, was it amazing. It basically talks about a lot of things, including the history of the Rubik's Cube and how Arnaud Rubik designed the prototype initially as more of a mathematical, mechanical, spatial example to use for his class, and wasn't actually thinking about it as being a puzzle. And they sort of show the progression of both the Rubik's Cube and other twisty puzzles throughout history since they were made, as well as the effect that the Rubik's Cube has had on popular culture. That was really neat. They also had a couple exhibits about puzzles that predate Rubik's Cubes, like stacking puzzles, or sliding block puzzles, or puzzles where you have to assemble a three-dimensional object, or tangrams, that kind of thing, which were also really fun. They had one really cool exhibit where it was a giant, probably 10 foot by 10 foot Rubik's Cube that you could actually twist and control using like 1 foot by 1 foot scale model. So on the model, if you turned a layer, on the big one, that same layer would turn. So you could control it like that. It was really, really neat. They had one wall that was like one of those Rubik's Cubes murals that you've probably seen videos of online, where it's a whole bunch of Rubik's Cubes sort of put together like pixel art to make one giant picture. But what was really cool is they had a little, it was probably a wall of maybe 200 to 300 Rubik's Cubes, maybe more, I don't know. But they had a computer there with them that would tell you, okay, the Rubik's Cube in row J, column L, should look like this. And so it had a picture of what that one face would look like. I don't know if it gave you the algorithms to scramble it to that state, but I think you probably had to figure it out, where you were like, okay, this needs to have, these are red, this is orange, this is blue, these are white, and you had to get it to there, and then you put it in that spot, and then you could see the next one and all that. So it was really neat, because you could actually do it. It wasn't just that someone had done it, but like attendees to the museum would pick up the cubes and be able to do it and help build that mural, which was really, really cool. They had, now I don't know if this was a model or the actual thing, but the world's most expensive Rubik's Cube. It's made out of gold. All the colors are gemstones, so it has like sapphires for the blue, rubies for the red, and all that. It cost something over like $5 million, I think. That was pretty cool to see. They had a speed mat, so you could time yourself and race your friends. And one of the coolest things was that they had a Rubik's Cube solving robot. That was a pretty short video, but you get the idea. The Rubik's Cube robot was a little bit slow, but it was very efficient. So it solved most scrambles, and you actually could scramble, they had all of these, Rubik's Cubes that attendees could just pick up and play around with loose all over the exhibit. And so you could scramble one and give it to the robot, and it would solve that cube. It wasn't that it had like a pre-programmed one. So it solved it for efficiency. So it would solve them in like 20 moves, but it took about a minute for it to solve it. So I actually raced the machine and beat it, although I probably used 5 or 6 times as many moves as I did. There was also some pretty cool Rubik's Cube swag I got. I got this neat sticker, I got this cool Rubik's Cube pencil, I got this awesome Rubik's Cube mug, and I got this cool Rubik's Cube shirt. All in all, it was a really, really fun day. I think you would have had a great time there. Unfortunately, I don't think the exhibit is there for much longer, so if I had gone earlier in the summer, I could have told you about it and you could have gone, but unfortunately, I think it's about to end soon. So hopefully this video was enough enjoyment for you. I'll see you tomorrow, Brian.